Welcome back to another Manifestation and Mindset Monday. My name is Verena. I'm your host today. And let's talk about manifestation and why you think you haven't reached your manifestation yet. Because I tell you, you're very, very successful in manifesting with the wrong mindset. I had this interesting call with my client the other week, and not only with one client, this is showing up on a regular basis, where their life seems to be in repetition. They change relationships, and funny enough, the new partner after a while starts to do similar things than the old partner, or triggers similar things than the old one. They find another boss which is like a narcissist, or they have money and out of a sudden it's gone, like all the other times. You know, like my client said it was Friday. We had our coaching on Friday. She said, my pattern is I have money and then it's gone and I have to fight for it again. So what's happening here? Like, first and foremost, you're an amazing manifester. We all are. But we manifest in regards to what is stored in our subconscious mind, in regards to all the beliefs and the conditioning we have received during, most and foremost, the most dominant year are from 0 to 7. And then obviously if there's elements of, let's say you start a relationship and like there's constant ongoing trauma happening. That's how you reprogram your subconscious mind. So by doing things over and over again, experiencing things over and over again, that's the recipe of bringing them from the conscious into the subconscious mind, meaning to embody them, meaning, excuse me, I just ate chilies. Meaning they become you on a cellular level. They become deeply ingrained in your nervous system. And that's how you then react. Like a certain situation shows up, it triggers something within you, a stored emotion, and boom, you're right in your story. Even so, somebody else from the outside would experience the story completely different. And I had a great example from another friend, which I spoke briefly on the weekend, and she said, we have this one colleague, and whenever something happens, she goes like a volcano, and she's so personally affected by it. She's crying, and we're like, just like, girl, get your big girl pants on, and it's not about you. But most probably she has been through a lot of trauma around her person. I don't actually want to know what kind of a childhood this woman went through to be in such a reoccurring loop of trauma, of anxiety to do something wrong. And I know that when I was working in the corporate world, and far before I was going down this journey of self-development, I was such an anxious person. I was always scared to do something wrong. And there are still elements of that within me, because guys, let's be honest, especially if you have experienced severe trauma, I don't know if you can ever get it completely out of your system. I say 95%, but we're human. If you cut yourself really deeply, there'll always be a small scar or a big scar. So coming back to when I was still in corporate, I was always anxious of doing something wrong, because I was growing up. When I was doing something wrong, I was, I get, penalty is the wrong word, but I was beaten, I was put down, I was locked in my room, all of this stuff. And this ingrains in the psyche, in your soul, in your nervous system. And then we grow up, we haven't dealt with the trauma, and similar experiences come along with a boss, for example. And the boss, if you haven't, a boss can seem similar to a parent. They are sort of in a authority role, and they can tell you what to do. They are having a role of delegating stuff. So for a person, that can feel like bringing them right back into their childhood trauma. And it is like that. I've experienced it myself, so it's so important first to acknowledge that you manifest always, but mostly my clients and the people who come to me, they manifest from their subconscious mind and from their limiting beliefs, from this belief that something is wrong with them and something they're not good enough and they're not deserving, all of this stuff. And so many of you have been through stuff like that, so many people. And it takes time, and it takes a lot of love and compassion for oneself and patience to change the pattern, to change that. It takes time. And I don't believe it can, let's say it's a 5% chance that by an emotional impact, you can really release something out of the system immediately. Maybe by hypnosis, because I tried Theta healing, and then I tried, what's this other, Psyche, where people claim it can change something out of a sudden, like boom. For me, it didn't work. Maybe it took off a layer. I don't want to say that hasn't happened, but I don't, in rare cases, and I've been in this space, in this industry for a long time, in rare cases, it has been gone like this. And even if it does, you still need to start acting different. Yeah? Because otherwise you shape this whole behavioral pattern again. And it's gonna be it's hot here right now. So coming back to the manifestation. So what do you want to do to manifest? What you actually really want to manifest is you need to go back to into your subconscious mind. And there are so many different and beautiful modalities how you can do that. A couple of them I include in my new course, which starts on the 21st of September, called Homecoming. Over the next couple of weeks, I will let you know all the details. It's an amazing offer for 4 weeks. You'll get daily guidance from me. You get one deep dive call, and that's just for 444 euros. So an amazing offer. So if you were looking for something and you have all the knowledge, but you still feel like you're not getting over yourself, and you're still acting in the same ways, you're still starting things but never finished, you still have that wanting to start that business, but you start, you're gonna be in progress for the first couple of weeks, and then boom, at the exact same step, you crumble and everything starts anew after a while, after you have picked up your pieces. If this is something, please write me a message, and I will include a link down there also for you to register so you can get information, because it's limited spaces. And if you want to come in, please let me know. And besides that, you need to work with yourself and be really, really loving. It's so important. There's a saying from Dr. Levine. He wrote a couple of books on trauma, and he said to heal is to touch with love what was previously touched by fear. And I truly believe that. It doesn't have to be like this big, massive things. It needs to be like you, your psyche, your soma, your soul need to be touched with love. And you need to show yourself that this time you not reject yourself, this time you not give up on yourself, this time you stay no matter what. And that's the real deep healing. And that's what I do not see a lot out there in the space. Very, very rarely. And that's why I'm offering that for 4 weeks. You can extend it to 8 weeks if you want, but I want to give it a 4 weeks container where you can put your toes in and be like, okay, can I try this? I want to try this. I want to see where it brings me. I want to come back into my body, because so many are not anchored within their body, and I totally get you guys, because the body is where the pain is in. That's where the emotions sit. That's where the trauma is in. And it sometimes feels more comfortable to tune out, to not feel. I totally get it. I'm guilty of all of that. That's why I can talk with you about it. For the longest time, and still, it's an ongoing journey. I want to emphasize this. I have hated my body deeply, and I didn't want to be in my body. Yeah. And there are days where I can feel it, when there's so much energy in there, and I know that I should now sit down and do yoga, sit down and be with myself, but it feels so discomfortable. It feels so, I cannot even, I think you know what I mean. You know these moments when you should sit down, and or when you're so overwhelmed and you don't know how to act anymore. You're overwhelmed, like your mind is running amok. And that's the times actually when we need ourselves. That's when we need to take ourselves out to regulate our nervous system. It's so important, because all of the other stuff is, so our nervous system is like a broadcasting station. It sends electrical signals, and if the nervous system is regulated, if you are regulated, if you are calm, if you have figured yourself out and hold yourself through the difficult situation, all of what you want so deeply and what you desire so much, it's there. But all of that emotions and that discomfort you're holding in your body is pushing it away. It's pushing it away. So the real deal is to come back home into the body and to self, and sit with oneself and acknowledge that you are an amazing human being. And I cannot say that enough. And it's my journey. It has been my journey. It will be maybe my journey for forever. I've done great. I've grown a lot. Let's say it like that. I've grown so much. If I think back, I've come a long way. When I was 15, 16, I shared that in another video. I was only wearing long coats. I covered my whole body. I didn't want anyone to see my body. I had so much shame in every little part of my being that I didn't want to show anyone. And I've been, I've had been through, I don't know how to say it, sexual assault. So that might have been something I was carrying at that time intensely. But I had so much discomfort. I didn't want to go to have into swimming classes and stuff like that. I didn't gonna go to the pool or to the lake when my friends went swimming, because I was thinking I'm the most ugliest and fat and disgusting person in the world. And that was due to a lot of stuff which was done to me by caretakers. And maybe also growing up in my mom's womb. My mom is ultra self-critical, and there's a lot of self-hatred also within her. And I just recently was reminded that when we are in the womb, we are so connected with our moms, with their thoughts, their feelings, when they look at their body and they hate their bodies and all of this stuff. So you take what you experience in this life is not only from this life, it's ancestral stuff, it's genetics, and it's karma as well. Your soul is in this body right now, but your soul is an infinite being. It will never die, never, and it has had an amazing amount of lives before. And you might have brought karma into this life, and then your life seems to be, some people always say, oh, my life seems to be bewitched. It's not bewitched. You just brought some karma from another lifetime, and you need to sit and deal with it. But it seems like if you don't understand, then you're like, why is this happening to me? I'm a good person, and sometimes really we have brought some karma. I know what I'm talking about again. We brought some karma to be released and to be sort of dealt with in this lifetime, so, and sometimes, you meet people and there's so much intensity. There's one person in my life where I'm like, the amount of crazy things that happen with this person, it's unreal. And I know that it's from a past life. You can even see it in the charts. If you do a synastry, you put the two charts of the two people together, you can see it in the chart. You know, you can see what happened in a past life. So I just want to tell you, don't give up, don't doubt yourself. Like, keep on moving forward and work on your subconscious mind, work on your patterns, like track your limiting beliefs down, write them down, turn them around, and work with yourself. Find ways how to reset and relax the nervous system, like yoga, like go to have a massage, self-massage, breathing, vagal toning, singing, dancing, going out into nature, painting. There's so many ways to do that. Again, if you need support, register for Homecoming. An amazing course. Nothing will be the same after this 4 weeks. I can promise you that. Yeah, this is actually what I wanted to share. So you are a manifester, but right now you're manifesting from your limiting beliefs. And that's what needs to be changed. Yeah, that's what needs to be changed. You can also watch my video, the last Manifestation Monday, on like all of my manifestation hacks. There's a lot you will benefit from. And yeah, we'll need to deal with ourselves and our nervous system, our traumas, our stored emotions, stuck emotions, because then there will be the ability to move forward with ease. And I can again share from my own experience that everything's possible, and you have it in your hands. So if this is something that brought you value, please send me a message in the comments. You can also request a topic. If you say like, hey, Verena, there's this one topic and I'm stuck with it. Can you explain? For sure. I'd be super grateful to support you guys, but I need to know which topics you're curious about. Yeah, I'm super excited to work on a topic for you and share it so you get some mind opening information, and also then can embody it. And meanwhile, find something you do every day in the morning. Like, I have put a couple of beautiful meditations and a sound healing on my channel. That's all stuff you can do in the morning to start your day right, you know. And then take time for yourself and be compassionate. Stop rushing through life. Stop thinking you need to do it all on your own. Stop pushing yourself beyond your capacity. You'll get sick. I know it. I've seen it in my colleagues. I've seen it in the past. I worked, you know, the last company before I quit my job, I was in a gang on a floor where 3 people had cancer. And we were only 10 people on the floor. So I was like, goodness me. It's like, where am I? And then my tarot reader, bless you, Dora, she said to me, Verena, get your ass out of there. And I'm like, okay, I had a feeling. I was like, I had a feeling. And then I quit my job. I was like, this is not how I want to live. No. You have choices to make, and you always have a choice. Even if it seems like you don't have one, you have one. Always. Always. I stand for that. If people say I didn't have a choice, you always have a choice. It's a lie. It's a lie you tell yourself day in and day out. The lie about I don't have the money, etc., etc. There's always a way. If you start to look into it, if you really put all your eggs in one basket, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. It worked out for me, and I know so many of my clients. So keep on showing up for yourself. Align with your truth and your goals, and take time. Nourish yourself, love yourself, and yeah. Whew. That's it for today. If this video brought you value, please subscribe to my channel. It means so much. I really wanted to grow this channel and wanted to be an amazing community of like-minded people who support each other along this way. Because I don't want to paint black But the next couple of years will be a tough journey, with so many challenges in this planet, on this planet. So we need each other. We need to support each other along the journey. So please subscribe, give this video a like, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.